So good afternoon student. Today we have to start the unit number thirds. Okay. So you see guys here. Today is our third lectures. Today we have to start the third units. What is the name of the units? The unit number third is electrical system in a ignition system. So look at this electrical system guys. Okay. So what is here? Automobile electrical system includes starting system, charging system, ignition system and lighting system. So this is the content of the electrical system. So if you observe here, major components of typical electric systems are given below. What are first is starting system. So in starting system, what are the components? Battery, starting motor, wiring and switches. So these are the components of the starting system. Second is what is charging system. So charging system is our electrical automobile is charged with the help of the alternator, and second is what is regulator. So these are the two components A and B which is used for charging of our automobiles. Okay. So this is the second. Third is what is ignition system. The first is spark plug, distributor, ignition coil and ignition switch. So ignition system, spark plug, we know they use the petrol vehicle. Second, distributor, ignition coil and ignition switches. So if you observe this diagram in an electrical system, what is this is the ignition circuit, this is the accessory circuit, this is the lighting circuit, this is the starting circuit and this is the charging circuit. So this is the diagram of the electrical system guys. If you observe here in a starting system, what is this is the battery, this is positive battery cable, this is the negative ground cable, this is starter motors, this is starter solenoid, this is the starter control circuit, this is the start, fuse, ignition switch, starter relay, neutral safety switch. This is the block diagram of the starting system. So let's discuss the first of all what is starting system. So starting system use a battery power and all electric DC motor to turn a engine crankshaft for engine starting. This is called as a starting system. Changes electrical energy to the mechanical energy. This will be done with the help of the starting system. So provide the gear or reduction torque multiplication, how much it is 60:1 or 20:1, which is used in a starting system. Okay. So when the ignition key is turned on, the current flow through the solenoid coil. Okay, and this close the contacts connecting battery to the starter motors. Is through the current which is passing through the solenoid, and because of this passing of the current, whole circuit will be started. So what are the components which are required in starting system of our automobiles? You see here, first one is what is we have to require the battery. Then what is we required? We required the fuse, then ignition switch, key, relay, safety switch, starter, flywheel and drive gears. So these are the components which is required for a starting system of automobiles. So if you observe your student, first of all we discuss about the battery. So what is the meaning of the battery? So battery provides the current to turn the starter motors. Because without a current we cannot start the motor. For that purpose, for getting the current, we have to require the battery guys. Then another, we have to require the fuse. So what is the use of the fuse? To protect the circuits from heavy currents. As soon as heavy current is flow in the circuit, there is a damage. So avoiding all this phenomena, there is a use of fuels to protect the circuits. Third components require the ignition switches. So what is this ignition switches is close the circuit. With the help of this ignition arrangement, we have to close the circuit, plus and minus we have to connect it together. Then the relay will be used there. What is the role of the relay? Uses the small amount of the current to control large amount of the current. For that purpose, this relay will be used. Now another guys, there is a use of this, what is neutral safety switch. So what is this neutral safety switch? So open the circuit until the vehicle is in neutral, means manual transmission or park automatic transmission can be adjusted with the help of this neutral safety switch. Next component, what is solenoid? So solenoid means the same thing as a relay but performs mechanical operation. It is an electromagnetic switch. If there is a magnetic field is produced whenever the current is passed through the solenoids. Okay, so this will be done here. Starter motor will be used. So starter motor, if you observe in diagram, engage pinion gear to ring gear mounted on a flywheel or torque converter. This will be done with the help of the starter motor. So here, after starting system, we have to require the storage battery. So what is the storage battery, guys, here? So look at here, introduction of the battery. Main part of the electric system we know. Engine cannot be started without the starting motors. For starting motor, there is a required the current, and whenever the current is passed, the starting motor will be run. So for starting the motor, we require storage battery. So what is the role of the battery? What is the function of the battery will be there? So most important component of the electrical system, supply the current for the starting of the vehicle as well as to ignition system, lighting system and various electrical electronics components and accessory over a wide temperature range up to minus 30 degrees Celsius to 70 degrees Celsius. For that purpose, we have to supply the current will be theirs. Okay. Then guys, here store a electrical energy and control the voltage regulation of electrical systems. So this will be done is also here. So what are the type of the batteries? We have the one is lead acid battery, second is alkaline battery, third is zinc air battery, fourth number is nickel metal hydride battery, and fifth number is what is lithium ion battery. So these are the overall classification of the various battery here, guys. Then after that, if you observe here, lead acid battery. So what is the meaning of this lead acid battery? You see here, most widely used in automobiles. It is an electrochemical device. Okay, it has a voltage and can produce current as a result of chemical reactions. Yes, in lead acid battery there is a chemical reaction will be there. With the help of these chemical reactions, the current will be produced there. Okay. So reverse current flows through the battery which cause chemical reaction and restore the battery materials. So what is the constructions? What is the construction of this lead acid battery? You see here, major components, what is container, plates, separator, cell cover and electrolyte. So these are the major components of this battery. So what is here, if you observe in construction details of a battery. So first of all, there is a, if you observe in diagram, there is a elements, cell divider, terminals, filler cap and cell container. Okay, these are the cell container. If you observe here, filler cap, this one, this is the positive terminals, this is the coil connector, seal compounds, negative plates, separator, positive plates, sedimental plates, elemental. Okay, and this is our containers. So what is in container, guys? If you observe here, so it is constructed in a single piece and made up of either hard rubber or bituminous materials. This is used for to design the containers. Then after that, in a modern car made up of polypropylene, which is strong, translucent and lightweight plastic, divided by a partition into compartments for individual cells. Ribs are 3 at the bottom of each components. Battery plates rest on the ribs. Then here, guys, the space between the ribs provided to collect the sediments. This minimize the danger of a short circuit due to the sediments. Then apart from that, plates. What are the plates? If you observe here, plates. So partition or divided into compartments for different cells. For that purpose, the plates will be used. So two type of the battery plate. One is the positive, second is negative will be there. So supporting by a framework or grid made up of an alloy of a lead and antimony. So if you observe here, horizontal ribs, this is the vertical ribs, this is the rim, this is the container lung. Okay. So what is the role of the separator here? What is the use of the separators? So to avoid direct contact and the short circuiting of a positive and negative plates, so thin sheet of some non-conducting materials are inserted between them. This is called as the separators. Okay. So made from treated wood, ebonite or porous rubber or fiberglass or resin bonded cellulose or sintered PVC will be used in a separators. So this is the negative terminals, negative plates, this is the positive terminals, this is called as the separators, and this is the positive plate, guys. What is seal? One positive and one negative group of plates are slid over each other with a separator in between to form a cells. This is the plus, this is the minus, that is called as the cell. Cell covers. So provide a sealing for the cells, molded from a hard rubbers. Cell cover contains holes for positive, negative for post, a vent and filler opening. Then third is what is electrolyte will be there. So battery is filled with electrolyte. Without electrolyte, the batteries cannot be work. So it is use a lead acid batteries is a solution of sulfuric acid. It consists of 40% of sulfuric acid, 60% of distilled water. When electrolyte has been added, the battery is given in initial charge and then it is ready for operations. So what is the working of this battery? So knowing the changes taking place during the charging or discharging of the battery of working, battery understood. Chemical reaction during the charging and discharging. So positive plate contain lead peroxide, it is PbO2, and negative plate contains spongy lead Pb. So PbSO4 lead supplied. So PbO2, H2SO4 and Pb. So due to the discharge, what is we getting PbSO4, H2 and PbSO4, and during the charging we getting the Pb, H2SO4 and PbO2. This is positive plate, H2SO4 it is electrolyte, Pb is a negative plate. This is the positive plate, electrolyte, and this is the negative plates. Another is what is the battery capacity. So the amount of current it can be delivered called a capacity of a battery. How much current will be delivered? 1 ampere or 2 ampere or 5 ampere, like that. So depends upon the number and area of the plate in a cell, the quantity of the electrolyte is present. On this parameter we decide what is the capacity of the battery. Battery capacity decrease will decrease the temperatures. Okay, continuously temperature is decreases, the capacity of the batteries also decreases, guys. Then here if you observe factors affecting the battery life, which are the factors affecting for a battery life. So what are the factor? Improper electrolyte level, lack of water, overcharging, undercharge and excessive load. So these are the two parameters affecting the battery life here. So you see, guys, here how to affecting. So battery rating. So this battery rating is given by recommended by a ACE, means lighting ability of a full charge battery. Batteries are rated in many ways. The most important which are given below: 20 hour rate, ampere hour rate capacity, indicate the lasting power of a battery or a small load. Rate of current or battery can deliver continuously for 20 hours and cell voltage not drop below the 1.75 volt. So this is called as the 20 hour rate battery. Then second number is what is 20 rate. So this 20 rate means which battery? The rate of the current battery can be delivered continuously for 20 minutes. If the current supply is how much time? It is supply for 20 minutes and cell voltage not drop below 1.5 volt. This is the capacity or battery rating, 20 minute rate. third is what is a cold rate, with zero test or a cranking ability test. So here the rate of current battery can be delayed continuously for 30 seconds, and cell voltage not drop below the 1.2 volts. And now we have to discuss the last point, what is battery charging. So what is here? Why the need of charging? Why battery charge? Okay. So when vehicle is parked for a long periods with the parking lights on, so for that need purpose we require the charging. Second, what is use of the accessories such as heater or fan or radio when vehicle is stationary. So for that purpose we require the more battery. And frequent use of the car starter or draws the heavy current. Because we know that whenever we start our automobile, that time we have to require the very huge amount of the current from the battery. So for that we have to require huge value of the currents. So what is the charging procedure of the battery? So what is the first point? First, check the electrolyte level. Means whatever the electrolyte which is used in a battery, we have to require more quantity. Suppose the quantity of the electrolyte is decreases, your battery cannot charge very easily. So we have to require higher quantity of the electrolyte here. Second, for charging of the battery, clean positive and negative terminals of the battery. Is whatever the carbon depositions on a terminals, just we have to clean properly, okay, to remove the carbons on the electrolytes from positive and negative, and connects respect to terminals of the battery chargers. Then third point is what is adjust the value of charging current. Is how much current we have to supply for charging the battery. Every time we take in observations and properly supply the currents. Fourth number, keep watch over a temperature of the electrolyte during the charging. This temperature point is very important. If temperature decreases, the charging capacity of the batteries decreases. So to maintain the proper temperature during the charging. Fifth number point, during the charging process, gravity and temperature readings should be taken hourly and regular basis. Okay. And last point is battery overcharging must be avoided. So these are the points we have to require, boys, for battery chargings. So I stop here. In next lecture we will be discuss another points. So thank you very much.